Hi everyone, welcome to Market Faith Online once again. My name is Deji Agboade. Always a joy to bring you teachings that help you and your business. One of the things that we really hope to do with these teachings is to help you make better decisions. Specifically with the Bible or faith-based teachings that we've been doing. The idea really is to help you grow and help you understand how you can leverage the power of God, which we believe is one of the biggest advantages that the believer has, that the person of faith has, to deliver and to really get the kind of things that they would like to get done in their businesses. So I'm always delighted to share with you and to just help you see things, especially from the Word of God, that helps you grow your business and helps you, just be a better person and achieve more in your business. So that's always an exciting thing for me, and I love the opportunity to bring these sessions to you and to teach and to share in a way that will really help you. Now, today I really want to focus on a very popular story from the Bible. It's the story of the woman that was in debt and she went to meet the prophet, right? And many times it is reflective of how in our lives, many of us don't know the things that we have, or we discount the things that we have. I want to show you today that this woman had so much more than she thought she actually had. And the reason why I'm doing this is for one thing. I'm hoping that it will spark something in your mind. I'm hoping that it will spark something in the way you think about yourself, about the things that you're going through in life, in business, right? And help you see things differently and think about things differently so that you can achieve the kind of results that you desire. All right. So let's jump in, starting from the book of 2 Kings, chapter 4. We're going to read from verse 1 all the way to verse 7. So please follow me and join me. And then we will begin to identify some of the things that this woman actually had, but she probably took for granted and she probably didn't think were very important. These things are things that are critical for business. These were the things that she had. So within herself, she already had the tools, she already had the raw materials to get her out of debt and get her into a place of success. Now, maybe you are watching this and you are in debt, you are in a bad place, you're in a place where you really want your business to turn around. You want things to change for you. You really feel hopeless and you feel like things are not working out for you. Listen, do not despair. This woman was in a similar situation, and all the prophet did was to help her see something that she already had that she could leverage. Why am I saying this to you? The way God works is that He will never, listen to me, read my lips if you can, He will never get you to a point where you have nothing that you need for your next level. Everything you need for your next level is within or around you, right? At least to start. And then you can leverage on other things around you and get things going. So I want to show you a couple of things that I believe are critical that will get you to begin to see things differently in the way you look at yourself, in the way you look at your business, and get things moving in your business. So 2 Kings chapter 4, let's start from verse 1. Now there cried a certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophets unto Elisha, saying, Thy servant my husband is dead, and you know that your servant did fear the Lord, and the creditor is come to take unto him my two sons to be bondmen. So the creditor came to take the woman's children to repay the debt that the father was owing while he was alive and died in debt. Okay, very tragic situation. Verse 2. And Elisha said unto her, What shall I do for you? Tell me, what do you have in your house? And she said, Your handmaid has nothing in the house except a pot of oil. Okay. Then he said, Go borrow thee vessels abroad of thy neighbors, even empty vessels. Borrow not a few. I want you to please take note of that. This is so amazing. And when thou art come in, thou shalt shut the door upon you and upon thy sons, and pour out into all those vessels, and thou shalt set aside that which is full. So she went from him, shut the door upon her, right, and upon her sons, who brought the vessels to her, and she poured out. And it came to pass, when the vessels were full, that she said unto her son, Bring me yet a vessel. And he said unto her, There is not a vessel more. And the oil stayed. Then she came and told the man of God, and he said, Go, sell the oil and pay thy debt, and live, thou and thy children, of the rest. This is absolutely incredible. Every time I read this story, I am super inspired, right? Because one of the things it tells me critically is that around you, within you, working with you, are the things that you need for your growth, are the things that you need to excel in life and in business. But sadly, too many of us are not in a place where we can take advantage of the things that we have, all right, and the value that is within and around us. So this woman had a number of things. Bear in mind that this woman said something very interesting. She said, Look, I've got nothing at home except a pot of oil, right? And then when she began to, say that in terms of, okay, this is the only thing that I have, then the prophet noticed, and all of a sudden he sensed that, listen, with what this woman has that she thinks is nothing, there is actually something and value that can be derived from that which she has called nothing. So let's run through a couple of things very quickly. Very obviously, she had a pot of oil, all right? That's the first thing, right? Very obvious, okay? But she had actually taken that for granted. Is there a pot of oil in your house that you're taking for granted? Is there a value? Is there something that you have? Is there inventory? Is there something that you've got? Is there a car that you have that you have taken for granted as that car? Because listen, some people's cars is the capital that they need for their business, okay? All right? Personally, I've been in a place before where I've had to sell a car so that I can unlock capital to do something else. Okay, so the point is this: people just take some of these things for granted in their lives and in their businesses. So the first thing is this, that she had a pot of oil. The second thing is that she had relationship goodwill. If you don't have relationship, many people don't realize that relationship is capital. If she didn't have good relationships, there will be no way to borrow vessels from her neighbors. Okay, she had relationship goodwill with her neighbors, meaning that she was a good neighbor. The fact that she was a good neighbor meant that other neighbors were willing to be good to her. The fact that you are a good person in business can mean that other people are willing to extend you credit, can mean that other people are willing to do things for you that you probably never thought about, right? The third thing she had were partners in her business. She had her sons as partners, right? Sometimes people around you can actually be potential partners in your business, but because of the way you've seen them, right, you look at them in a different light. Her sons were potential business partners. And from that conversation and the things that happened, she needed that partnership. So while one person was going to borrow on the left, another one was going to borrow on the right. And they were doing all these things together, collaborating to ensure that the mom got out of debt. Listen, are there people in your life that you are taking for granted who can be potential partners in your business? The fourth thing she had is market access. She knew where to go to sell. Can you imagine, right? Some people don't have access to market. They've got great product, they've got a great service, but they cannot access a market. They don't know where to go to sell. They don't know who to talk to sell. This woman knew what to do to go and sell. Otherwise, she would have asked the prophet that, listen, Mr. Prophet, I don't know where to go to sell this oil that you have just, multiplied in my hands. Okay? Can you direct me? Can you guide me? Can you introduce me to someone? Or something like that. But she had access to market. There was a place where she could go to sell her oil. Number 5, she had selling skills. She had the ability to sell. And listen, if you are an entrepreneur, one of the number one skill of an entrepreneur is the ability to sell. If you don't know how to sell, find somebody who does and partner with that person, or learn how to sell. But listen, this woman had selling skills, because if she didn't, right, she wouldn't even be confident enough to go and sell the oil so that she can make money to repay her debt, right? So she had selling skills. Number 5 or 6, whatever, she had negotiation skills. She could negotiate with investors and creditors, right? The people that gave her vessels were like investors in her business. They were creditors to her business, right? Some of those people probably even gave her the vessels, right? And didn't collect any money or didn't collect any interest for the vessels that they borrowed to her. So she had the ability to negotiate with investors, the ability to negotiate with creditors, all leveraging on the goodwill that she had with her neighbors. I don't know if you are beginning to see that this woman actually had a lot more than she thought that she had. She had a home, a house, a place she could use as a warehouse to store the oil that she had in her possession. Can you just beat that, right? This woman didn't just have oil, she had a warehouse. She had a place where she could keep these goods and, take that from there to the market to sell, come back, take the inventory, go to the market to sell, right? So she had inventory, she had a warehouse. All she needed to see was that, listen, look, I know people who use their facilities. Some people rent it out to other people. Some people, use it as a place for keeping goods, and they lease things out and all those types of things. This woman had a warehouse called her own house that she could use, right, for the things that she needed in her business. And then the last thing I want to say is this. Listen, in everything, she also had her own vessels. She said, the prophet said, borrow not a few. But she also had her own vessels, even if it was one or two, meaning that she had initial capital or the initial seed that she needed for that particular business to work. So I want you to see a lot of the things that we've listed. She had a pot of oil, she had relationships, she had her partners, her sons, she had market access, she had selling skills, she had negotiation skills, she had a warehouse in her home, right? And she had initial capital, which were her own vessels to start with. My goodness. Listen, child of God, is there something you are overlooking in your house that can actually be the source of you getting more in your business? Is there something that you have taken for granted? Is there a relationship that you have taken for granted? Even if it's a relationship with your spouse, there is someone that your spouse knows that can get you out of the predicament that you are in business, right? There is a car, there is an asset that you have that you can sell. Some of you have 2 laptops, 3 laptops. If you sell one, sell 2, you can raise some money to do what it is that you need to do, right? Some of you have all sorts of things. You have amazing skills, you have selling skills. You can run a course on how to become a salesperson, on how to negotiate, right? Listen, by the time this woman was done with selling the oil, she can actually write a book. Are you listening? She can actually write a book on how to sell oil in the marketplace, make money and pay off your debt, because I'm very sure that she was not the only one in that kind of situation. But it is amazing how in just one story we see all these amazing multiple facets of that particular thing, just because somebody decided to open their eyes and see what they probably had never seen before to get the kind of results that they had never gotten before. My goodness, I think that is amazing. And I hope you find that amazing too. Listen, I want to thank you so much for joining me today on Market Faith. It's always a remarkable time having to share with you. I hope you join me again next time as we dive into deeper topics and help you understand that God wants you to succeed in business and is super committed to doing that. God bless you. I'll see you next time.